what's up everyone? It's Toad talking sports. Today I'm going to go over every single game from the Sunday matchups and the Thursday night game. I'm not even going to waste any time, let's jump right in. The first game that we had this week was Cardinals versus Saints. Let me say before I even get into this, I think the Amazon got completely fleeced by all these games because they're all been terrible. They're all ass. So first, we got to go score. Cardinals took the win 42-34. Both of these teams decided, yeah, fuck it, let's not play defense. Cardinals did only win because Andy Dalton threw 3 picks, including an insane pick 6. Other than that, neither of these teams just played up to par. It's just all around not a great game. I would be scared if I were fans of either of these teams. Next, we're going to go into all the Sunday games. And I'm not even going to waste time right now. We're just going to jump right in. First game I got up on my list is a game that I definitely didn't really care about because we all knew what was going to happen. It was the Bengals versus the Falcons. Bengals took the W 35-17, outbeating the Falcons and their only rushing offense. The Falcons, besides AJ Terrell, have no defense, really. Bengals don't have an O-line, and also might not have Jamar Chase, though he went out of the game with an injury. But T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd definitely came in and made sure that they got the W for the team. Next game, we got another easy win. It's the Cowboys versus the Lions. Cowboys won 24-6. I didn't really care about this game. I was expecting the Lions to score a little more since they were at one point the #1 scoring offense, but it just wasn't a great game to watch because we all knew the Cowboys were going to win. Micah Parsons playing out of his fucking mind. I can't even. Lions lost Amon-Ra St. Brown, who would have been on Trayvon Diggs and would have gotten probably toasted most of the game. They also didn't have DeAndre Swift, and their QB is Jared Goff, so you obviously know they're fucked anyways. Next we got the Titans versus the Colts, which was just a crap fest all around. No one really wanted to watch this game. If you wanted to watch this game, I am so sorry. Neither of these teams are going to do anything. Both of them basically have a run-heavy offense, with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry being their 2 biggest players on both of their teams. But the Colts today just gave a big fuck you to Matt Ryan, gave him double bird, and now are going to run with Sam Ehlinger. So have fun with that, Colts fans. Titans, you might be changing out a QB for Malik Willis, but as of now, we don't know. Next, we got a game that I was very intrigued about, mostly because I have a lot of fantasy players on this one, was the Commanders versus the Packers. I'm so happy the Commanders won because the Packers are one of the most annoying franchises in history. Aaron Rodgers is also an annoying bitch. I don't like him. But Packers lost 21-23. Bit of a surprise, especially since Carson Wentz, the starter for the Commanders, was out for the game, and they had to play Taylor Heineke, who is a beast. Love Taylor Heineke. Other than that, there was nothing real interesting in this game except for Taylor Heineke reuniting his union with Terry McLaurin, and they just went off together. Next game I was very excited for, the Panthers versus the Buccaneers. The Panthers took the win 21-3, destroying Tom Brady. The Panthers right now are a rebuilding franchise, just sent Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, and they were playing PJ Walker, the XFL legend. And they got the win over the quote-unquote GOAT. I think the reason why Tom Brady lost, besides Mike Evans dropping touches and whatever, is because he is no longer with Giselle, which means Giselle isn't doing her devil worship to will her husband to the wind. But Tom Brady may get back up into the points and might sacrifice Mike Evans to win another Super Bowl. So Mike Evans is on IR for the rest of the year, you know why. Next game was a surprisingly interesting game. A game that if I said in the beginning of the year would be the game to watch on Sunday, you would say I am insane and probably put me in a psych ward. It's the Giants versus the Jaguars, which I thoroughly enjoyed watching. Both teams just are fun to watch on both sides of the ball. Both of them have amazing young stars. The Giants, Tavon, they have Thibodeau. If you say Danny, I'm not going to say Danny Dimes, but Saquon Barkley is really fun to watch. I just like this game. Jaguars, I like Trevor Lawrence quite a bit. He played very well. ETN played well. It was just a fun game all around to watch. But in the end, the Giants did come away with a win 23-17. Though it was very close right down to the end with a little bit of help from the refs. Other than that, Giants won. Next game was a lot closer than I expected between two teams who love choking away wins. We had the Ravens versus the Browns. The Browns were more known for choking away the wins, and they eventually got away with the choke, making the Ravens win 23-20. Lamar Jackson looked not great. Beginning of the year, he looked like an MVP candidate, running and throwing like crazy, but he just barely squeaked out a win against the Browns and has thrown away multiple leads already this year. Lamar Jackson is just not performing up to spec. He doesn't have his connection with Mark Andrews anymore. His wide receivers are Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman. The only bright spot right now in the Ravens is Gus Edwards. So that says a lot about who they are right now. Next on my list, I got the Jets versus the Broncos. If anyone watched this game, I am so sorry. All Broncos fans should just be burying their head in sand at this point. They paid so much for Russell Wilson and he didn't even play. And they can't even seem to win. The play calling is terrible. They also have a terrible backup, not gonna lie. But they hung it out with the Jets because of their defense, and that's it. Other than that, there was no other reason why the Broncos would even come close to winning against the Jets. Now, the Jets should also be terrified. The Jets lost their number one running back, Breece Hall, the rookie, who was absolutely tearing it up, and he went out for the entire year with I believe it was ACL tear. And that's a huge blow to the Jets. Jets might not be able to recover from that one because they are also playing a quarterback that was drafted by the Jets, which means that he's going to be awful. But Jets did get the win 16-9. Other than that, the game was just not great. Next game was the Raiders versus the Texans. Before I even get in, everyone has to give praise to Josh Jacobs for going crazy. If he was on your fantasy team, he won you the game no matter what. Josh Jacobs went off on the Texans defense, which shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone. But still, Texans definitely also have a running back. Just seems like a year where running backs have started to reemerge. Other than that, there was a little scare on the Raiders where Derek Carr looked almost injured. Devontae Adams didn't push over a cameraman this game, so you don't have to worry about hurting another cameraman getting a suspension maybe. Other than that, the Raiders took the win 38-20, beating out the Texans. The game was alright to watch. Next game was surprisingly entertaining for any Seahawks fan. Seahawks beating out the Chargers 37-23. Justin Herbert is not looking like a QB that you really, really want on your team. He might be still hurting from that injury where he ruptured some of his rib cartilage. Other than that, he just isn't performing up to spec. I never really thought he was great. He's a physical freak, but I didn't think he was a great QB. But that's just me. I have a lot of weird biased takes. But other than that, I just don't get how the Seahawks are winning so many games. Maybe we can start blaming Russell Wilson for being the problem in the Seattle's locker room the whole time, but Geno Smith is playing out of his mind for being a backup for forever and not being great. Him and Marcus Mariota have rejuvenated their careers, may even get another starting job somewhere else, but they're both playing great. Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks is also insane. Other than that, the win goes to the Seahawks. They become number 1 in the NFC West with the Rams on the bye. Next game was an old Super Bowl match between the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers, where the Kansas City Chiefs took the win 44-23. Now, CMC just got traded to the 49ers and did not really perform very much, which shouldn't be a surprise to any 49ers fans because he doesn't know any of the playbook or anything. But the Chiefs definitely curb stomped the 49ers, which for any Rams fan watching like me, I'm very happy to see the 49ers get the shit beat out of them. Made me very happy to see that. I hope their woes go into the next week where we absolutely destroy them, but I know it won't happen. CMC obviously didn't perform as well, but 49ers fans shouldn't be too scared about that because he didn't know anything about the playbook or anything along the lines of that. Chiefs look phenomenal. They're going to be the team to beat in the Super Bowl if the Bills lose again. Next game, we had the Dolphins versus the Steelers on Sunday night. Dolphins took the win 16-10. This game is not going to be a very interesting one to watch. Tua did come back from his injury. Didn't wobble off the field, but it still just wasn't a great game to watch. Just both teams are defensive-minded, so it's just kind of stuck in this limbo where it's just punts. Well, that's all I got for you for the wins and losses of Week 7. I will see you next week.